As a detailer, you think about Air Force One, everybody wants to come do it. And I was the same way. But when you get here, it's more about paying the respects, and you're actually preserving history for generations to be able to come and see this.
When I looked into training and I looked at who Renny was, this project would come up. My first email to Diane was, hey, I want to be a detailer on that. She broke it down, said, you got to do this. You're in the group for, about 24 months, and it's an application process. And I got selected to come here. So it's an invite only within our group. Now, does that say that we don't close it out to the industry? No, you come train with Renny, you join this mastermind group that we have of detailers, which is the Detail Mafia.
Detail Mafia is a special group, and we really look forward to helping others and passing on what we've learned, what we know about this project. At some point, I will not be able to come out here, but the ones that are coming out will know, and it's being passed on from generation to generation. So these planes are taken care of, and it's done at the level that we have set the standard for.
This project means the world to me. So I've been out here at the museum 3 times on projects now. My mother was 24 years active duty Air Force, so a lot of the military tie-in and the military aircraft have a special place in my heart. My goal is to restore these aircraft and protect them for future generations to come. I see that on this project every time I come out here with the field trips, and I can only hope that one day they'll also bring their children through and see that same aircraft looking just as pretty.
My first year, Evan took me up to polish up that flag up there. That was a whole different experience for me. To work on something like this, prior military, it just hits different.
I tell every member that comes, I'm like, it's the first time you'll make that pathway through that gate. Don't ever forget this moment. Every moment is a special, but that first one, that's something.
It's been my goal to get here for a few years now, and now I got to look at what's the next steps? What opportunities are going to come out from me, investing my time to come out here and do stuff like this.
Detailing for me was an opportunity. I saw these airplanes doing aerobatics, and I was 13 years old. When you're a kid that didn't have a lot of exposure to stuff, is being around an airplane was it was magical. And my grandma came to me and, woof. We were pretty desperate. We were really poor. And so I had to quit detailing because I wasn't making any money. It was for fun. I told Art, this guy was teaching me to fly, that I just couldn't come out anymore. I had to go get a job, and find a way to get my grandma food stamps, so she could eat. It never gets easy. So this guy was so cool. He goes, well, why wouldn't I pay you to do what you're doing? You're good at it. And that just kicked off the modern day passion I still have today. It's hard because I know what's behind me. And everybody thinks that I started here, and I didn't. All of us have had help doing something and building something. I don't care what chapter you're in on your entrepreneurial career or your life, you're always going to need help. You're going to need somebody else to step in, and that's what the Detail Mafia is here to help with. Through my whole life, I've had people that reached behind, and they just didn't pull me, they taught me.
What we really preach to our young guys, but really anybody in our group, is be diverse, have multiple lines of ability to have revenue within your business, have the ability to be flexible and adapt and pivot at any point. At the end of the day, it certainly is something that we have to think about.
For our first 2 years in the Mafia, it's, take what you can just make sure that you're going to give to the next person. Eventually, it's going to be my turn to take care of someone who's struggling the way that I used to struggle.
We want to make sure that they're marketing themselves and building themselves up in their community and using this project to be that local celebrity in their community.
I never forget where I came from. I never forget the people that helped me get to where I was. Even in law enforcement, now I got to pay that back. You know, the world's changed a lot, and people kind of get a little selfish. We got to reach back down and grab those others and help pull them up, make them successful too. If a guy comes in, what it took me 10 years to do, I want him to do it in 5. I want him to do it in half that time. And then I hope he reaches back down, and I hope he wants to help that next person at 2.5 years.
When I get out of this, I want to see detailing as a legitimate trade, just like being an electrician and plumber. And we're that close. We're that close to seeing it, but it's going to demand that everybody act as a professional. And so these men and women behind me, they're at that level, and we're going to change the game.